Welcome everyone. This is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about the steps toward your destiny. If you remember last week's episode on Monday, we were talking about the $1 million business, and it has a lot of notions to build your destiny. However, destiny is a little bit different than building $1 million business, right? We can use our time in the evening or in the morning to build $1 million business, to do sales calls, to do emails, to do the things that we're supposed to be doing to build a business rather than just watching TV. When it comes to destiny is going to be maybe the desired place, the place that you want to be at the end of everything. I say, and there's a notion, this is not something that I created, but people have said it before. You might be familiar with it. I might have said it on the podcast before. We look at life as for when you die, you're going to be given a mirror and you're going to be given a book. And the mirror is going to show you exactly who you could have been. And the book is going to give you every single bit of detail of all the things you could have accomplished in your life. There's also going to be a mirror that reflects back at who you are, who you have become. And then a book of the things that you did accomplish. And you're going to see there's a huge discrepancy. There's a huge disparity between the two. The person that you look at in the mirror that you could have been is drastically and wildly different. It's something that you admire, that you wished you would have reached or attained. In the book that you did was maybe an inch complete, inch full. And the other book is literally 10, 20 inches of content and things that you could have done. Most people are living in 1/10 or maybe even in 0.5% of what they can do or what they will do. Why do we give ourselves this limitation that we can do great things, that we should do great things, that we were born to fulfill a purpose and we were destined to become a person that we might never reach because we want comfort, because we want the easy road, because we want a life that's simple? Sometimes we have to go the hard path. We have to challenge ourselves when we don't want to be challenged. Sometimes we have to jump when we're afraid. Fear is going to stop us. Uncertainty is going to stop us. Complacency, whatever. We need to understand how can we start to take more proactive actions toward our destiny. So today I wrote a blog, The Steps to Change Your Destiny. We all want to reach it, but how do we get there? So let's take a look at that blog right now. All right, everyone, if you're new to the podcast, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and to share the video and our audio to help build a community of like-minded individuals. And today we're going to be talking about the steps to change your destiny. Now, your destiny is going to be something that is going to create two notions. The first notion is that you create your destiny. We don't know what the end is going to be. And the second notion is going to be that your destiny is already predetermined. You have to reach it. Whichever school of thought you are in, I want you to write it down, or I want you to remember it. Are you the type of person who creates your destiny and whatever happens, wherever you leave off in life, that's your destiny? Or you have a predetermined destiny, meaning you have a high point that you have to reach or that you can reach. Whichever one is your mindset, write it down. There is an aspect to the second one that you have a destined life, right? Meaning that there's a point that you can reach and it's the tippy top. That can create a limiting belief if you do reach it. However, you do have to apply a bit of mindset to this, is that you'll never become the person you're truly destined to be, because the person that you're destined to be is always 10 years in front of you. That means when you're trying to reach that person 10 years in front of you, you'll always be continually chasing this person. Now, you're not chasing competition, you're chasing yourself. You should not be in competition with anyone but yourself. So when you put it this way, you have a positive mindset, a positive aspect to destiny, and a positive sense of determination and action to get there, even though you never will. Sometimes I think people think they have to do things that the world is going to see. The reason why I get mad at people who do like these videos helping the homeless people is because they feel, number one, they want to do this to spread goodness in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. They want to get views and they want people to take action too. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a notion to that mindset is, I need people to validate what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, your purpose might be helping them. I'm not saying it's not, but the validation aspect to it. I could care less if 100 people read the blog or if 100,000 people read the blog. If you want to make a change in your life, you will make the change in your life. I'm not going to be upset if people choose the easy road, if people choose to live in the box, if people want to be blind, if people want to be sheep. I'm not going to be upset because they choose to live that life. It's a saying, or there is a saying, a fly doesn't understand that they can go eat honey, but they're on poop, right? So no one tells the fly, hey, why are you eating poop when you can go eat some berries or you can go eat some honey? No one is going to argue with the fly who decides to have that crappy life. What do you want? The steps to change your destiny is going to be a choice. Do you want the poop like the fly, or do you want the honey like the bee? But just the aspect of it, right? You can have something maybe sour, bitter, whatever it tastes like, or something sweet. Most people want the sweet life, but they're doing the wrong actions. They're doing the wrong things. So how can we start to make some changes? And we're going to get into that right now. As I was saying, when it comes to steps to change your destiny, there are going to be some ones that I talk about in the blog. When you are going down this path, you have to understand that goals, as I said in many of the podcasts, are going to be something that you do have to become clear on. If you don't have a goal, what's the purpose? What's the meaning for you to take action? Typically, people, they don't go to work a 9 to 5 because they have no goal. Their goal might be they love their job and they love helping people. Let's say they're a doctor, they're a nurse. They love helping people. They love making sure people are healthy and happy, and that is their goal. Maybe they have a goal of, I want to be a doctor because I'm going to make a lot of money. That could be their goal too. There's nothing wrong with your goal as long as you know your goal. When you create your goals, you have to give yourself the purpose to them, right? So your goal is to be a doctor. What is your purpose to being a doctor? The purpose is to help people. The purpose is to make money. Okay? You mix those two together. If you give yourself a purpose that at some point in your life becomes unraveled and you find out that's not really what you want, because you can make money doing other things. There's people who play video games on the internet. They make more money than doctors. There's people who play sports who make probably like 25 times more than doctors. So it's just like, yeah, you can be a doctor and make money. But if you give yourself a purpose of being a doctor and helping people and healing people, that's going to be more purposeful. These sports players who actually play, they give themselves a purpose of helping their family. Typically. Maybe give themselves a purpose of being a good role model for people who admire them, who are fans of theirs. That can be an aspect too. Just depending on where they are mentally, what type of upbringing they have, there's an aspect to the steps to destiny. However, many people think that those people who have accomplished great things in their life, they just did it overnight. Like it just happened, right? Well, it doesn't. There's a process that we have to go on. Most people are not successes because they want to be successful. Most people, they have to go through that process of building themselves up, a step-by-step process. When I was 15, 16 years old, I started working out when I was 15. My father said, oh, don't work out until you're 16. But again, the ladies were calling. I said, I have to look good for the ladies. I had a couple weights in the house that my dad had, and it was just a bench. It was broken. It was like split in half. So you had to be very careful. It would lean over to one side, and we only had about maybe 75 pounds in weight. And I would use that same bar for curls. I'll use the same bar for bench and everything else in between. And I would just go work out in the dining room, where it was. It was the wrong place for it, number one. It was in the basement before, but I moved it up to the dining room. My mom didn't really say anything, or if she did, I just probably ignored her. So now I'm working out. I'm building muscle. I'm looking good. 100 sit-ups a day, I believe, or it might have been more. And so I finally got my body. However, the first week, the second week, the third week, I probably didn't see any results. It wasn't until maybe 8 months where I said, whoa, I'm starting to look good. I'm starting to get more tone. Now I can say, oh, this is something I like. Most people, they want instant gratification. Oh, I'm going to the gym. Oh, a week of me feeling sore, nothing happened. I remember being in class and I was just like sore in class and I was just do some stretches like this. And I was just like, oh, I'm working out. This sore feels good. It wasn't something I was adverse to. Yet many people, they want comfort. On the stairway to your destiny or the destiny that you give yourself, you have to understand some steps are going to be more daunting than others. Some are going to be full of pain. Some are going to be full of trial and tribulations. And some are going to be moments of happiness and bliss. Most people, they want those good steps in life, but they're not willing to step on the ones that are bad. So fear starts to develop in their mind. They say, I want a good life. I want to have, the good things. I want to have a good end result, but they're not willing to go through the hard moments. Those hard moments make you resilient. Those hard moments make you the person that you're supposed to become. That is the destiny that you can be. The reason why your book is only an inch instead of, a novel is because fear stopped you from going past certain points. Fear is going to lead you to so much more in life, yet you allow fear to create the finish line for you. Oh, this is the end of the road. Oh, this is the circumstance I have to live in. This is what I was given. There's nothing I can do. The moment you move past that is going to be the moment that you see that the obstacles that are in front of us are going to typically be a reflection of our levels of courage and confidence. So if you are afraid to take the action, look at the levels of courage and confidence. We do have to learn how to give ourselves the goal, to give ourselves the resources to complete that goal, and then to build goals beyond the goals that we've given ourselves. So depending on where you are, we do have to understand. But there is an aspect to destiny that we do have to look at our current situation before we can begin looking at our future destination. Many people, they think that the destiny that they're going to have is a certain place, a house, a car, a type of woman, right? Relationship. They think that, once I get this, everything is going to be right. But destiny is not so much of the destination. It's about the journey. So when we're looking at a destiny, when we're younger, we can see the destination. You might not see the work, right? We might not be able to think of it. But if you have a coach, you have a mentor, you have a parent, you have a teacher that can help you along that way, you're going to be more likely to be more destiny bound because you have the structure. For the people who just kind of think that fantasy lives are just given to them and they can keep one mindset and they can keep one opinion or one belief, they're going to find that they are in a rude awakening because they think it's what they think versus they learn to understand. They learn to experience differences to what they believe. Because in life, we do have to have a level of education and understanding that we might not know everything in order to get to the places that we want to be. I want to be in many different places, and there's many different things I do not know. There's many different obstacles. There's many different time barriers that I have to go through in order for me to get to the destiny that I'm trying to fulfill. I'm thinking in my mind, who can help me? What do I have to do different? What do I have to sacrifice? And I'm looking at all these different aspects to what destiny is for me. Destiny has no certain place. I give myself goals. I'm the type of person that destiny is a place I'm supposed to be, but that place is always 10 years in the future and I'll never reach it because I'm always giving myself a goal behind a goal. That's just my mindset. But you might be a different type of mindset. Determine it. I said it on early on. Determine that is so important because we're all going to have unique journeys toward the success to what we can accomplish. If you are a person who's having a hard time trying to figure that out, a coach, mentor, someone's going to help you along the way. It's going to be something that is going to be invaluable to you. Most people who get coaches, they most likely say, I'm so happy I did this, or I should have done this sooner. It's almost like when you go to a doctor for a pain that you've been having. If you went to the doctor, number one, for preventative stuff, but then also to fix the issues that you might have been feeling or going through, you're going to say, whoa, I could have got this done a lot sooner. But yet, here I am suffering. Here I am struggling. You get to be proactive. And there's an aspect that I want to talk about because when we're young or when we are old, right? Maybe you have a retirement plan, 401k, and you're told you can take this out at a certain age. We have our plans and our policies, our retirement policies, right? Social Security stuff. We receive it at a certain time, not because it's the time is the best for us. Because even at 65, if you wait until 72, I think you can get like maximum benefits. So do you work until you're 72? What do? It's not, oh, you get Social Security at 35 and you get maximum benefits at 65. It's not that. Why do you think it's not that? Because destiny is not so much of the destination, yet many people think the destination is the destiny. So people think 65, I get to retire. When people reach 65, they find out they can't retire yet. There's no way they can retire, especially in our world today, in our economy today. We talked about last week how to build $1 million business. That's a way to get your destiny on track. That is a way to not need 65. You can get there at 45. Heck, you can get there at 25 now if you know what you're doing. If you have the right coach, if you have the right process, if you have the right mindset. Most people, they get this notion of 65 and they say, well, I have time. If I gave a person 10 months to do a job, they would take all 10 months. If I gave a person 10 minutes to do the job, they're sure as hell going to try to get it done in 10 minutes because they understand something. This job is going to create a longevity for me, or is it something that's going to end my relationship? Because they're going to understand something, that this job is going to be the making and the building of themselves. Maybe put food at the table, maybe making their whole entire mindset shift, or it could be the destruction and keeping them in a place of inferiority, of low self-esteem, of a fixed mindset, of low confidence. Because there's something that comes with success. We start to seek more of it because then you start to see what was impossible at one point. You're like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. But then you do it. You show up. And so we learn a level of who we can be by becoming a new level of ourselves or becoming disciplined and trying something that's scary, something that's daunting. Now, if you have a boss that's saying to do something in 10 minutes that will probably require at least 10 months, then, you might have a toxic boss. But realistic, right, stuff, right? I'm just giving a very wide example. You might say, that's not realistic for me. But you do have to understand what's realistic, what's probable, and what's impossible. Okay? There are not many things in this world that's impossible. It's just, is this realistic? Reven is not Reven because there's something in the world that can't be done. Things in this world that have not been done just have not been done yet. Have not been done because they can't be done. Eventually, someone is going to find a way to do it. It might not be you. It might not be your child or their children. But at some point, someone's going to create something that we might have never thought was possible. Time machines, space travel between planets, living on different planets besides Earth. Far-fetched, I know. But there are people who are creating it right now, a mindset right now, that it is possible. They just have to do the process. They have to do the steps to get there. Elon Musk, a great example. He wants to colonize Mars. Guess what? That's not an easy task. He might not get there in his lifetime. But you know what he's doing? He's having a bunch of kids. Maybe they can do it. He's taking a step there. He's not saying, all right, everyone, I'm going to send everyone to Mars. He's doing the process. He's doing the steps. He's building up to it. In a sense, we have to build that same type of momentum. We have to keep taking the steps up to be better, to become better, to get closer to who we think we want to be. And maybe we make some changes along the way. Because sometimes you might have a path and you might say, oh, this is who I want to be. And so you go on that staircase and you finally get to the point where you thought you wanted to be. But something miraculously happens to the staircase at that point. It forks. You get to say, well, I can keep going up the same path I was going on, or I can go a different path. And so you get to make a choice. Sometimes people think, oh, I just made the wrong choice. No. Your choice helped influence you. We learn from our failures. We learn from our lessons. We become disciplined. Now we become more oriented. we gain the wisdom, and now we have to apply what we learned to our next goal. Don't stop because you failed. Keep going because you can succeed. And in this blog, The Steps to Change Your Destiny, we're not only simply talking about creating the staircase, building the goals, and understanding how to get there. There can be a process of taking small baby steps to get there, but understand that you are the person in charge of whether you're going to get to the top of the staircase or if you're not going to get to the top of the staircase. Determine what type of mindset you have and determine what you need in order to keep on going, because there's going to come a point when you're going to get tired and you want to stop. So you want to make sure that you don't stop, that you keep on going. And so when you do reach the goal or you do reach the fork in the road, you get to make any changes that are going to lead you to your next goal. So this is a mindset. This is going to be different paths maybe for you, but this is going to lead you to the person that you are most in line with. When we're looking at the steps to change your destiny, it's not going to be as simple as I'm going to take a next step and I'm going to take a next step and eventually I'm on top of the staircase. For some reason, these staircases, they come with a bunch of obstacles. They come with a lot of challenge. It's almost like you're going hiking and this road to the top of the mountain is not a simple paved process or a paved step because it might be too steep. It might be too narrow. There could be issues with the step that you're about to step on. Maybe it's a little bit loose and you have to be more careful. Whatever the issue is, there is a solution. And that solution is going to be you. How do you approach it? How do you traverse it? What do you do after it? Most people, if they slip, they fall, they get hurt, they hurt their knee, they hurt their arm, whatever. Now they become more afraid. They become afraid to take action. When people get told no, you know what they do? They recoil. They're like, oh, that didn't feel good. Let me not take that action again. Let me not get another no. With my male clients who want to get ladies and stuff like that, they're afraid of the no. I understand why. It doesn't feel good to get the no. So the way we do it is we do it in a sense of we're not even looking for a no. We're just looking for a conversation. It's a bit different than success and destiny, but it's the same notion of being courageous, being confident, and building it up. Because the moment you do get a no, you're going to feel a certain way for maybe about 10, 15 minutes. Is way too long because emotions only last 90 seconds. So if you want to feel, something a little bit longer for about, extra 10, 12 minutes, whatever, cool. But understand that now it is gone. Understand, focus on the good things, the good steps, the good moments in your life, the good victories, the good triumphant moments. Those are where our focus should lie. But yet many people, they look at the negative things. So the steps on our way up, don't focus on the bad steps. Don't focus on the rough moments, the rough patches. Focus on the good moments. And your mind is going to start to develop in a way that's going to start to see that your destiny is more plausible, that is more reachable, that is more attainable. And you're going to begin to take more proactive action. And that is what we want to do at the end of the day. How can we be most proactive? How can we do all the things that we want to do, that we feel like doing, and maybe even the things that we don't feel like doing? With a smile, with a sense of aspiration that this moment is going to suck, but it's going to lead to something better. It's a growth mindset. It's a positive mindset. It's a mindset that you need. And if you're having a hard time developing and maintaining this mindset, head over to revenconcepts.com, get yourself some coaching, give yourself the processes, the mindset, the structure you need in order to get to your destined life. It might not be an overnight sensation. It can take some time. And the process is a process, but the process can lead to something good. My name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me coachinginsession@gmail.com. And I'll see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.